Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I would like to talk to you about the MA stack set of indicators that are available on my website. This pack contains these three sets of indicators. The first one is a single currency, single time frame indicator, and this one just shows you when moving averages align upwards or downwards, or when they are not aligned, when they are overlapping each other. This second one, this is a multi time frame and a single currency indicator, and this one shows you when moving averages, when this stack has aligned in an upwards direction or a downwards direction, and you can use this to find out when multiple time frames are aligned. And finally, the third one is a scanner. This is for multi-currency, multi-time frames, and this shows you when all of these time frames align over multiple currencies. Like right here you can see pound is pretty strong because all of these have aligned upwards, and same with this has also aligned upwards. And when multiple time frames align in the same direction, that shows you that the trend is pretty strong. And this value inside the brackets, this shows you how many bars back this particular alignment happened, when these stacks had aligned. And you can define the max past bars, the maximum number of bars for which you need to scan this, and in this example it is 50 bars. So anything more than 50 and you will get this two dots in a bracket. This indicates that the stack alignment had happened more than 50 bars back. So these three indicators are available in this pack. The first one is free to download, which is why it is available right here in this demo package. The first one is single currency, single time frame, and all of these, the second one and the third one, they are available as free demos. The multi time frame demo, it works for these three pairs, and the scanner demo, it works for any three pairs that you specify. So you can use these indicators for validating your existing strategy. Let me show you an example of how that might work. So right here on this chart we have these MAs. These moving averages, I have put them on the chart separately, and you can get this particular template with all of these moving averages and this free indicator. You can get that from this website right here. You can use this template in case you want to get all of these moving averages, or else you can define them on your own. And finally we have this MA stack indicator. And just a sec, suppose if I'm using the Darvas boxes strategy, let me put that on the chart. So Darvas boxes, they basically, when price it starts to range, and when the price breaks out of that range, that is when it shows you a signal. And as you can see, with Darvas boxes we get a lot of signals when price is ranging. So in that case we need to ignore all of these signals, and when a nice good smooth trend is forming, only then we would like to trade the Darvas box. Based on this strategy, you can also define the minimum distance between these moving averages. So suppose I define a minimum distance of 50 points. We are on H1, and to find out the minimum distance you can always use the crosshairs tool. Over here this 60 points distance, and if you want something even smaller, like if you want the signal, this signal to show you stack align downwards, if you want that for about 50 points, then you will get the stack downwards signal right here. And you can set that minimum distance over here. So a smaller minimum distance is very good if you are scalping, or maybe even 0 points in case you are scalping. But if you are trading longer term trends, then I would suggest that you set a minimum distance in points. Let me set 50. And for this, right here, you can set the minimum distance over here. Right here for H1, we have about 50 points. And same way you can go to M5, M15, M30, etc. and you can set the minimum distances over there. You can use the crosshairs tool and set them, and it will reset. And as you can see right now, price is mostly ranging across all time frames, which is why we get this yellow. Suppose price is trending downwards, in that case you will get this red, and suppose it is trending upwards, in that case you will get a green colored signal. And next I will talk about the scanner. As you can see, we have multiple currencies and multiple time frames. So let me just go to an example where we have a good trend going on, like right here. And let me select H1 time frame, or maybe M30, because this trend has been going on for a while. And I'll put the template right here. And as you can see, the stack had aligned earlier, and over here these moving average lines, they started to overlap, and once again the stack has started to align downwards, which is why we get this stack down. And stack is aligned downwards across multiple time frames, which shows us that this particular pair is in a good long downtrend. And scanner will give you the alerts whenever all of these time frames, they are all in alignment. And be sure to set the scanner to the lowest time frame that you have over here. So suppose we have M5 as the lowest time frame. For this base scanner chart, I will also set that to the M5 time frame so that it refreshes every 5 minutes. And as you can see, for euro dollar, earlier we had all of these time frames in alignment, but right now these blocks have disappeared, which means that currently all of these time frames are no longer in alignment and the moving averages are overlapping each other. So for smaller scale trading, suppose you are scalping, I would suggest that you set fewer moving averages, like only 3 moving averages. And for longer term trading, when you want longer trends, in that case use maybe 4 or 5 moving averages. So when we use just 3 moving averages, as you can see, we see a lot more alignments. And finally, let me just go over some of the settings which I might have missed. Let me remove these Starburst boxes and let's go over to the MA stack. These are the settings for this one: single time frame, single currency, and you can set the shift, the bar for which you would like this to be scanned. Suppose if you are interested in the last closed bar, in that case just set that to 1. And if you have this set to 0, in that case you can also specify number of ticks for which you would like this to refresh. By default we have 200 ticks, and you can set this to an even longer number if you are trading higher time frames. If you are trading lower time frames, then you can set that to a lower value. Next, we already talked about the moving average periods. You can specify a comma separated value for all the periods over here, and all of these will use the same MA method and the same MA applied price. And finally, it will show you this status. In case if you are using this indicator in an EA or in another indicator and you just want the buffer values, but you do not want this particular status to be shown on chart, in that case you can set this to false. And next, you can also set the show signal, this value to true, in case you would like to know exactly where the stacks had aligned. So let me show you how that works. So when the show signals is true, you will get these particular signals which show you when the moving average stack was aligned, and you can change the colors if you like. So both are orange by default. For uptrend, this is the buffer, and for downtrend, the second one. So in that case it will be much clearer. So right here, as you can see, price has been ranging. So we would like to have some minimum distance between these moving averages so that we do not get these kinds of signals for uptrend when price is ranging. So let me just try and set the minimum distance in points to 50 like we had done earlier. In that case, all of these signals disappear and this starts right here. And when experimenting with minimum distances, you can also try to set maybe 30 points. So the signal started a little bit earlier, but we also got all of these signals for the uptrend right here. So just experiment with these values and use this show signal to see when the moving average alignment was ongoing. Let me set that to false for now. Next we have the alerts, and you can get the pop-up alert when this moving average, this stack is in alignment, and sound and email or file alerts, and also push notifications. And you can specify where you want this status to occur on the chart. By default it is in the left upper chart corner, but you can define that over here, and you can also specify the X and Y distance and also the colors for how you want this to appear, the font size and the box width. And next up we have the settings for the MTF, this one. Most of the settings are exactly the same as we had for the stack, but over here you can set the timeframes list, the number of timeframes that you would like to have. And next you can also set the pair name. Suppose if you are using this chart but you would like to see this for euro dollar, in that case just specify that pair name over here. And suppose you would like to have multiple pairs, then you can just drop as many as you like right over here, and you can specify the pair name over here. Like let me just go with, in that case just specify the Y distance between them. By default we had 20 points. Let me set that to maybe 80 points. And yeah, if you're using multiple these MTF stacks, then make sure to specify a unique prefix for each of them. And you can just change the Y to maybe a little bit more, maybe 90, and that way you can have multiple these things. And if you feel like the space is too little, then you can also change the Y spacing and the X spacing. So let me set that to maybe 10. So in that case it will be a little bit more compact. But if you would like to have multiple time frames, then I would suggest that you use the if you would like to have multiple currencies, then I would suggest that you use the scanner, because that is specifically for all of these multiple currencies, stocks or Bitcoin or whatever you would like to specify in this comma separated list, and you can just select the own pair list. In that case it will use this one, and the scanner will show you all of these currencies for all the time frames that you specify, along with this bracket number of bars back the alignment had happened. So scanner is very useful for that. And it also shows you the number of time frames which you have selected and when that alignment happens. So yeah, I think we'll just go over the scanner properties quickly. And the scanner also has almost the same properties as we saw in the MTF, and you can get these pop-up alerts when the alignment happens, or push notifications, email, etc. And you can similarly set the shift, max past bars, or refresh after ticks. Now scanner will by default refresh every new bar. So suppose if you have M5 over here, and if you select M5 as the base chart, scanner will refresh every 5 minutes. But if you would like the scanner to refresh every few ticks, in that case just set the shift to 0 and set this refresh after ticks to a value like say 200 ticks. In that case scanner will refresh every 200 ticks. Now if you want the MA stack alert for when stacks align for any pair or any time frame, in that case you can set this to true. When MA stack alignment happens for all of these time frames, in that case you can set this alert to true. And the same thing, you can specify the periods, method, price, and also the min distances as you had set in the MTF. And you can also specify the colors that you would like to change for the scanner. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for all the properties of the scanner as well. And we already covered all the properties of MTF. So yeah, I really hope you enjoy using these. All of these indicators are very useful for validating your current strategies. And just let me know in the comments below any questions that you have and what you think about this. And I really hope you enjoy using it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a nice day.